Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. It is Commander Christmas. Look at that. Today is the release of 2019 Commander. So I figured I would, because y'all know I'm definitely buying this Joker. So let's open it up and see what we got. I will probably break these up. They're 4 decks, obviously, and I will do 4 separate videos because this is you may not care about watching all of them, and it may whatever. So I guess we'll grab this one and open it up and see what we got. And I guess we'll do this kind of how we normally do it here. We'll bring that. But first, we'll look at this Savin the Chronicler. Well, we're going to see a real version here in a second, aren't we? So, used to, back in the day, we got a big foil like this for all of the options. There was like 3 per, but we don't get that anymore. So we just get the one. The big card, which is fine. I mean, I don't really use them because they don't sit friendly in deck boxes. So we have Savin. I'm going to roll over here and make sure that we can focus and read. Yeah. Savin the Chronicler. But a lot of these cards I'm reading at the same time. I'm reading for the first time when we've got red, white, blue. What is that? Is that Jeskai? I don't know. 2/2, 5 mana, human wizard, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Savin. Okay, so we can't take damage. That's cool. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery from your graveyard each turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So that screams play instants. Oh, instants with flashback, because this doesn't let you play them from the graveyard. It's just when you do. Okay, so you've got to have an enabler to let you play them back like flashback. Okay, I get it. This must be the flashback deck. Then we have Elsha. I see me pronouncing that wrong. Also 5 mana, 3/3 prowess. Hey, that's not bad. You prowess on a commander in storm colors seems good. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast the top card of your library if it's a non-creature, non-land card, and you may cast it as though it had flash. Wow, yeah, that's Hella Storm. I like it. Primicon. Now this is one I did actually, I don't know, lots of giggles. 3 mana. It is red, white, and blue. This is our first legendary wall. So that's awesome. 1/5 flying defender. Thank goodness it flew. Because, a legendary wall wouldn't be much if it didn't fly. Each player, when he enters the battlefield, choose left or right. Each player may attack only the nearest opponent in the chosen direction. And planeswalkers controlled by that opponent. That's neat. That's neat. I like it. And then we have our tokens that come in there. There's the spirit. Now these are double-sided. That's a pretty nice human token. So we got a Pegasus, another human. We got a Drake. Lots of Drakes and lots of humans. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Treasure. A treasure human. Treasure human. Treasure human. Okay. Are these... It appears that the very first block here are... No. They're all mixed up. New cards with old cards, so... We're going to take out the basic lands here. Because, we've all seen what a Plains does. Cliffside Rescue. Now, this is a new card. I'm not sure if you can see the card number down there. The way they number these is they will start with all of the new cards, 1 through whatever, 60-ish some odd cards probably. And then once all the new cards are done, just like they do in previous Commander years and Battle Bond and things like that, then they'll start with the reprints in Wooburg order. But this is actually card number 1, 2 mana, 2/2, Horse Soldier Vigilant. Sack it, target permanent you control gains protection from each of your opponents until end of turn. And it does remind you that protection, the easy way to remember it is debt. Damage, equipped, enchanted, blocked, and targeted. So we have a leadership vacuum. Oh, this is the bounce of commander. Target player returns each commander they control from the battlefield to the command zone. Draw a card. Now this is very limited. It's if we put this in our deck, it's legit only 4 commanders, so you can't just bounce any creature. So, you can cast it without it. It does replace itself, but as long as you can target a player. Bloodthirsty Blade. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and is goaded. And I love the fact that there is no way to equip this to your own creature. Isn't that awesome? 1 mana : you attach it to target creature an opponent controls. Of course, you can only do it at sorcery speed, so it's kind of equipped. It's not like the cranial plating insta-equip. Scaretiller. This is a new card too. We got a new Scarecrow. 4 mana, 1/4. When it becomes tapped, you may put a land card from your hand on the battlefield tapped. Return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's pretty solid. This guy's going to drive a car and a helicopter and a submarine. I'm going to equip crew vehicles with this guy left and right. Oh, it's an artifact, so the unwinding clock untaps at every turn. That's cool. So we got a reprint of Ghostly Prison. Prismatic Strands. Now this is absolutely gorgeous art. Is this new art from the last time? I don't remember what set this card was originally from, but wouldn't that art be gorgeous in foil? Oh my! It's gorgeous right now, but Purify the Grave, Ray of Distortion, Chemist's Insight, Deep Analysis. Man, I wish they'd have gotten different art for that. I don't know. It makes Bolas look weird or something. Fact or Fiction is good. Fervent Denial, Mystic Retrieval, Una's Grace. Oh, retrace cards, because technically you're casting those from your graveyard as well, so that's cool. Runic Repetition, Secrets of the Dead, Think Twice. Burning Vengeance, whenever you cast this. Oh, yeah. That's pretty neat. This looks like a pretty decent deck. Desperate Ravings. Faithless Looting. Yeah. I like the new art. Doesn't look like they have any intention of banning that one now, do they? Gutter Snipe. I always could use more copies of Gutter Snipe. Rolling Trembler, Cackling Drake, Farm to Market, Armillary Sphere. The Lockets, look at that. They realized the Lockets were about the best 3 mana Guild Rocks. I know they iterated enough times to where they... Burnished Heart. Oh, I needed this because I think I'm out of Burnished Hearts. Because y'all know I love to use Burnished Heart in the mono white thing with Sun Titan, and yeah, it's about the most reliable ramp short of that enchantment, About Mandate of Peace. This is new. Cast this only during combat. Your opponent can't cast spells this turn. End the combat phase. Now, Reconnaissance has taught us that there is a point in the combat step where damage has already been dealt. So But that would be using it offensively if you remove all attackers and blockers from combat. But it does not say they don't deal or receive damage. So if combat damage has already been dealt, it's already dealt. So, and abilities from the stack. So I'm trying to find a way to get max value out of this card. So it looks like defensively is probably the best way to do it. That you would actually wait until they declare their attackers. That way they're tapped, assuming they're not vigilant. And then once they've tapped all their attackers, then you cast Mandate of Peace. So now they're tapped out, and they can't hit you, but yet they don't have blockers, so you punch them back. So, okay. Savine's Reclamation. And by the way, I would really love for them to give us like pronunciation guides, because I need it. 3 mana sorcery. Return target permanent with CMC 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's a sorcery version of Sun Titan's ability. Okay. If this spell was cast from a graveyard, you may copy this spell. Oh, that's cool. So it's Sun Titan's ability once, and then the second time it's hit twice. So, yeah, that's pretty neat. Thalia's Geist Caller, also new, even though it sounds exactly like a card that would have been in Innistrad, 3 mana, Human Cleric, Lifelink 3/1. Ooh, that's pretty fragile, isn't it? Whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, you get a spirit token. Sack a spirit token. This is indestructible. Okay, that makes sense. Still gotta jump through hoops, but, it's cool. Mass Diminish. 2 mana sorcery. Until your next turn, creatures target player. It's not all creature. Oh. Creatures target player controls have base power and toughness 1/1. So they still have their abilities. But it does last until your next turn, but it only affects one player. So that's neat, I guess. I'm going to need some time to kind of break that one. Wall of Stolen Identity. Well, that was a loud drop, wasn't it? 4 mana Shapeshifter Wall. You may have Wall of Stolen Identity. Enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's a wall in addition. Oh, hey, that's cool. And has Defender. When you do, tap the copied creature and it doesn't untap during its controller's untaps. Oh, wow. So it's a Paralyze and a wall clone? A clone wall. Yeah, clone wall. That's because it can't attack, so it's still got the wall properties. I like that. Because a lot of the creatures that we would like to copy, we don't want to copy just to, attack and block with. We want to copy for some sweet ability. So that seems decent at clone price. So I guess the baseline is clone mana, 4, 3, and 1. And then to make up for the fact that it has Defender, they let you freeze down the target. So that's cool. Backdraft Hellkite. I need to do a Hellkite tribal. Not just Dragon tribal, Hellkite tribal. 5 mana 4/4 flying. When it attacks, each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gain. Well, hey! See, I would love to build these decks at Wizards. I'd be like, what the deck needs is a way to just give everything flashback. And then, okay, I'll just make that card. But it is a 5 mana 4/4, so I mean, it's not the biggest dragon out there, but it is pretty decent. Dockside Extortionist. This guy is insane. Hey, what's that red pirate that does the thing with treasure? Right? Enters the battlefield, create X treasure tokens, where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments your opponents. So all opponents. So that's cool. Obviously, I feel like this is better late than early. I mean, to get max value out of it. And then if you can repeatedly bounce this to your hand, that would be pretty sweet. So what are we talking? I'm I know in like the Apocalypse era, Invasion Planeshift Apocalypse, there was a cycle of creatures that during your upkeep you had to bounce a creature of a certain color. So um, I wouldn't mind bouncing this and playing it every turn. That'd be cool. Ignite the Future. Sure. Is this Chandra? That sounds like something Chandra would say. 4 mana, exile the top 3 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. If a spell is cast from a graveyard, you may play cards this way without paying their mana cost. Okay. Oh, so you don't actually get to play the cards in your library. You're just exiling the top 3. You can cast them this turn. Or if spent double, you can play them for free. So it seems like that would require a top, to make sure that those 3 were what you wanted them to be. Or some kind of top thing. Oh, now we got the man. Oh, it took so long to get a good Gerard card. Weatherlight Hero, 4 mana, 3/3, first strike. Now, Gerard actually had 2 cards before. He had Master at Arms, and then he had Gerard Compassion. Now, Master at Arms was him because he is a trained Benelish Master at Arms. I mean, like every martial weapon he was proficient in. So, of course, that's how Urza designed him. But anyway, when he dies, exile it and return to the battlefield all artifact and creature cards put in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. So Gerard exiled. So if this is your commander, and you pop an O stone, it's going to die, as well as the O stone. Return to the battlefield all artifact and creature cards in your graveyard. So it's when he dies. When he dies. Now, if everything, including him, dies together, I guess that's a good question for somebody smarter than me. But I am positive there's a way to bust this. And I'm sure folks out there, y'all probably already have. But I will probably just end up playing this for crazy amounts of value. Ashnod's Altar. This is red-white, so the pinball stuff. What do they call it? Pebbles. Ashnod's Altar. Enduring Renewal, Ashnod's Altar, and Ornithopter, Goblin Bombardment, stuff like that. Ping, 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 ping. But that doesn't really take advantage of Gerard's ability. Maybe the Ashnod's Altar or the Crack Clan Ironworks and just sacking everything and then sack him at the end to get them all back and do it again. Maybe some kind of Suedo Graveyard Storm thing. I don't know. I don't know exactly how I'm going to build Gerard yet. Empowered Auto Generator. So 4 mana, enters the battlefield tapped. Oh, that's not preferable. Tap, put a charge counter on it. Add X mana of any one color where X is the number of charge counters on it. So the same, it's one ability to tap it and put a counter on it and then get that much mana. So it's not like the other one where you either tap and put a charge counter on it or tap to draw cards equal to the. I like that one tap ability does both. You get the counter and the mana. But it is still a charge counter, so all of those cool Mirrodin cards that amp up charge counters, that may be. I mean, it seems really slow, especially for 4 mana. I think maybe charge counter matters, maybe where this card wants to be. There's a Pristine Angel. I like that we're going headstrong into protection again. There's a Sun Titan. This is my boy. Clever Impersonator. Rouse Erect Flip 10 coins, ignore 5 is what I read because I have a thumb. Divine Reckoning, kind of neat. Divine Reckoning I use in a lot of just like Voltron builds because, I'm going to save my one dude. That's all I got anyway. Dust to Dawn, Increasing Devotion. Is that a Storm Herd? It is a Storm Herd. I laugh. I love Storm Herd. I love the big flashy 10 mana cards. And yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've Storm Herded, 25 Pegasus on the board to have somebody Pyroclasm or whatever. Yeah, that happens. But you know what? It still feels great to. I don't, just to cast the 10 mana spell because, there's not many formats you can reliably cast 10 mana spells. Whoa, that's a dino. That's the Chroma Dinosaur. All them abilities. Jace's Sanctum helps out with your instants costing less. Your River Kelpie. Talrand. See, this is a pretty decently built deck. Devil's Play, Increasing Vengeance, Magma Quake, Pristine Skywise. Why is that in there? Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, untap it. Oh, see, that's even pretty sweet. Refuse to Cooperate. Now, let's see. Let's get the Commander Sphere. Is it Locket? Your Friend and Mine. The Soul Ring. We've rocked this art for a while. I wonder how long it's going to be before we change the art. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I like Soul Ring. I mean, I like every art they've ever done. But now it looks like we're going to get into the land base. We have an Exotic Orchard, which is, I think, one of the best lands in Commander. I mean, when you have at least 3 opponents, it's pretty sweet. We have a Prairie Stream. I kind of like that. The actual land types on these cycling. No, these are not cycling lands. I'm sorry. That was the Almond Kit thing, I guess. But I like it. 2 or more basic lands. Ash Barrens, great card. Phenomenal. Azorius Chancery, Boros Garrison, the Boros Gate. Command Tower, Evolving Wilds, Highland Lake. Is it Boiler Works? Is it Gate? Myriad Landscape. That's a good one. You jump through some hoops to make 1 land drop count for 2, but hey, it works. Mystic Monastery, Stone Quarry, Swiftwater, Temple of False God, Terramorph, Tranquil Cove, Windscarred Crag, popular Magic the Gathering formats, and of course a pile of basic lands. Now I don't know if these are new arts or not, but this deck just has copies of those 2 planes, and then it's got that island. Wow, I mean it's actually a beautiful island, and then. Are we seeing underwater? Is that a sunken island? No, because all that, it looks kind of green there. So, is this an island like at night? I guess I don't know. It's pretty neat. I like it. And then, mountain-wise, we get 4 copies of the same mountain, which is it's a good mountain range. Well, that is it for what was this deck called? Mystic Intellect. So, hope y'all enjoyed. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to order these, but be sure and look for the next 3, or you may have already seen them, depending on the order that you watched them. Anyway, I did a video for all 4. I appreciate it, and we will see you next time.